It is not your fault that the avoidant ghosted you. I repeat, it is not your fault. You did not make them ghost you. Nothing you did wrong caused them to ghost you. Ghosting is a choice. It is an absolute choice, and it is a reflection of the person ghosting, not the person that was ghosted. Yes, there are some exceptions to where ghosting might be necessary. If you're dealing with a toxic, abusive person and there's a threat of physical harm, blocking and ghosting is absolutely warranted. That said, if you are a kind, loving, emotionally available, consistent partner and you were there for them and they ghosted you, it is not your fault. Even if you did something wrong, something that they didn't like, a healthy, emotionally available person would communicate that with you. They would tell you what was going on. They would work through it with you. An avoidant, when they're triggered, can choose to ghost a person, and when they do so, it is out of fear. It's fear of rejection and actually a fear of abandonment. Well, that doesn't make sense because they're abandoning you. Well, in the avoidance subconscious, it's safer to be the one doing the abandoning than to risk the inevitable abandonment. It all goes back to childhood. This is a person that experienced consistent emotional neglect from their parents or caretakers. In addition to that, when they tried to express themselves as children, when they tried to express their emotions, they were rejected, sometimes even reprimanded. Negative emotions, their feelings were not welcome. They could even be punished for having those feelings. So what they learned is that expressing themselves is scary. It leads to rejection and emotional abandonment. So in the relationship, if there's something going on that they're not comfortable with or any kind of fears, anxiety, they bottle it up. They don't say anything. And that's why they can ghost. They are so afraid of the conflict, the inevitable rejection, and the abandonment that will follow if they express themselves. So it's easier for them to just push the other person away, stick their head in the sand, and avoid it altogether. Part of emotional availability is the ability and willingness to empathize with your partner, to feel empathy, to feel their pain, their emotions along with them. Even if you don't agree with the person, to at least empathize with their feelings. When the avoidant is ghosting you, they're not empathizing with you. There's no empathy because they're not considering you. They're not considering your feelings or the devastating impact it will be to be suddenly ghosted by a person that you love. They're not considering how that feels at all. They're only thinking of themselves and their own perceived wants, needs, feelings, or fears in the moment. It's due to their own insecurities. But ghosting is a choice. Not all avoidants will ghost a partner. In fact, most won't, but many do. The ones that do are actually revealing their character. Because even though they may struggle to do things like self-reflect, open up, be vulnerable, they still know that ghosting is not a kind thing to do to somebody, and they chose to do it anyway. It's absolutely a choice. It is a cowardly choice. And you didn't deserve it because you would not have done it to them. And you didn't deserve it being done to you. When you're ghosted by the avoidant, you may be struggling and longing for closure. This is a person that is very unlikely to give it to you because what they're showing is rather than communicate, they shut down and they just disappear. Getting coherent answers from a person that clearly avoids, including avoiding self-reflection, avoiding accountability, well, it's just unlikely to happen. The ghosting is your closure. This person did a big reveal. They showed you their insecurities. They showed you their tendencies to run from problems. And they also revealed their character. Yes, their character. Because again, ghosting is a choice. That is your closure. Their behavior is your closure. And you deserve better than that. And you know, when someone ghosts you, you didn't cause it. You didn't force them to do it. So self-blame is absolutely not the way to go because all that's doing is pushing you into anxiety. You can't make anybody ghost you. That's a choice on the part of the person who did the ghosting. Yes, we know it comes from a place of insecurity and we can empathize with that. We absolutely can. But it doesn't make it okay, and it doesn't make it right, and it doesn't mean that it is tolerable. Often, when the avoidant comes back, if they do come back after ghosting, they will come up with very nonsensical or ridiculous excuses as to why they ghosted you. I was overwhelmed. I was busy with work. Oh, our relationship wasn't really that serious. That's actually a form of gaslighting, trying to make you doubt your perception of reality so they can escape accountability. The only thing that should happen when they come back after ghosting is full accountability, taking true ownership of their actions and committing to not doing that again. That said, that doesn't mean you're under any obligation to ever take back somebody that ghosted you. Respect your own self-worth. You didn't deserve it.